Peace, infinite waters, diving deep. Once again, here we are, enjoying nature as usual. The sun has gone down. What are we gonna do? The great shift, the empowered human 360 senses. Physicians, heal thyself. For me, I've really come to the realization that nobody is going to save me from any illness, from any disease. I have to do it myself. I have to do the research. I have to study myself. And along this whole journey, I just realized that I am the physician. I have to heal my own body. I have to know my body better than the doctor. I've never been a fan of doctors. I remember when I used to go to the doctors, and a lot of the times I used to think to myself, these people look more unhealthy than me, and I'm supposed to be the sick one. What's going on here? And more, when I'm diving deeper into this whole subject of health, because really and truly, this is what life is all about. It's all about balance and equilibrium. And for me, one of the most empowering things I found was that we are our own physicians. And really and truly, if everyone knew that, there would be no need for hospitals, for doctors, for pharmaceutical companies, anything like that. And really and truly, I'm just seeing more and more how a lot of us, we're handing our power over to someone else to take care of us. But at the same time, most of us, we're so busy that we don't even want to study about the most beautiful creation on this planet, which is the human body. And diving deeper, I just realized how, for instance, in Western medicine, a lot of it's allopathic. So what does that mean? That basically means that it is just treating the symptoms of the disease. So you've got a cold, you start coughing and sneezing. Wait a minute, go to the doctor. What do they give you? They give you some lozenges for your throat. But at the same time, they don't treat the underlying cause. They don't treat the seed of the problem. They don't go to the root of it. And really and truly, this is what I'm seeing more and more, how allopathic medicine has failed because it's only treating the symptoms. And that's really what pushed me to naturopathic medicine, which is all about working with the body, going to the underlying causes. And really and truly, allopathic medicine is almost like there's a fire in a house and you hear the fire alarm going off. You see the smoke coming out of all the rooms, and I know, let's just stop the fire alarm and that's going to solve it. But at the same time, the fire is still raging. Flames are still fuming. So it really hasn't solved the problem. But really and truly, when we talk about holistic health, naturopathic medicine, we realize that it would, in that case, put out the fire. And that would essentially cure it. That would essentially put everything out, and that would in turn stop the fire alarm. So more and more, I'm just realizing how a lot of us, we've been sold a lot of lies when it comes to health and health care. A lot of us, we're relying on people in white lab coats. These kind of people make me very, very nervous. And a lot of us, what are we giving to our children? Many of us, we give them vaccinations and we give them all of these things. But even if we look at the language, we have antibiotic, against biotic, life. So we're against life when we give someone antibiotic, antiviral. And that's the whole thing. A lot of us now, we're still in this mindset in the 21st century that bacteria is against the body. We have to poison the body to make the body well. That's what allopathic medicine is, and that's what so many of us are subjected to. In essence, the body, what I've come to realize, is such an organic creation. It's so powerful that it can actually rejuvenate itself. It is self-repairing. It is self-rejuvenating. And really and truly, I'm just realizing more and more that the body can take care of itself if it's placed in the right environment. You see, you have to come to a park. You have to come out to nature. And I think that's the whole thing, because really and truly, a lot of the lifestyles we live are very stressful. And that's really what's killing so many people on a large scale, because we've really neglected the basic and fundamental. When we talk of medicine, a lot of the ancients knew, even in the ancient Chinese culture, they knew that what governed the body's health, was the meridians. People call them as chakras, the glands of the body. But essentially, there was a subtle energy flow going all throughout the body. And when the body was in dis-ease, there would almost be a block in the body. And basically, to unblock it, you have to really unblock that energy flow. And a lot of the times it can be done by jumping up and down, by doing yoga, by walking in a beautiful park, by playing, by dancing, by doing all of these things, which are really getting the chi, the prana, flowing around the body. And the more and more I'm coming to realize it, that a lot of the diseases we have are really just programs that we've adopted. Because in essence, when we talk of disease is big business. When you find a cure, there's no money to be made. And that's the whole thing. A lot of us, we are not realizing, so many of us, that essentially we have to know our bodies. How can you know someone else's body better than your own? And it goes back, really and truly, this is what it taught me, to be sensitive to everything around you. And really and truly, I'm just coming to realize that the more and more I study myself, my body, be very present to it. Because a lot of us, we're not really paying attention to our body. Our body is giving us signs. The symptoms of our diseases are basically the body's way of communicating to us. I've got a massive plane going up above me. Hurry up. Yeah, and that's what I'm coming to see more and more. Our body is always talking to us, and our body is our loyal servant. Our body would never want to harm us. That wouldn't make sense. Our body is here to help us to experience life in its purest form, in a very high vibration. When we talk of cancer, because I used to work in a hospital a long time ago, and I used to see a lot of people who were going through chemotherapy and their hair was falling out, and people had cancer, people were in a coma. Okay, do you want to sound any more depressing? No. And when I was seeing all of these things, it made me realize and made me really want to study, because a lot of us, we're so busy that we don't even have time to study about ourselves. And the ancients knew that really and truly, we're here to know thyself. We're here to know all about our body, how it works. And when I came to the realization that even when we talk of cancer, when I realized that a lot of cancer, what we've been told what cancer is very obscure. It's not really getting at the heart of it. And when I realized from my own research that cancer was basically oxygen depletion in the cells of the body, I realized, okay, that's it. That's why so many people are getting cancer around the globe, because there is an oxygen depletion in the cells. And how can oxygen depletion be caused? Due to living in low vibrational states, due to living in environments which really don't promote health. Stress is when you can't breathe. I remember someone telling me once, relaxation is what you are, stress is what you think you should be. And more I'm realizing that we live in an abundant universe. It's human beings that we put restrictions on ourselves. We limit ourselves. Many of us, we're living in a limited perception. And in turn, that is also producing the disease in our body. So many of us, we don't feel worthy. We say, okay, I'm not good enough. Who am I? But at the same time, all of this is communicating something to our body, because more and more, I'm just realizing that the body doesn't lie. How are you? This is one question we love to ask people when we see them. Oh, how are you? Oh, I'm fine. You're not fine. Look at your face. And I'm talking about myself. When I used to say that I'm fine, I knew I wasn't fine when I was saying I'm fine. Because I realized that my body was telling me, gosh, you better sort yourself out quickly before it's too late. And I think that's the whole thing. A lot of times our body is communicating to us. The only question is, are we going to listen to our inner voice and empower ourselves, or are we going to stay asleep? And sleep is beautiful, but at the same time, if you don't wake up, a lot of the times we're just kept in the same position. And really and truly, I'm just realizing all of these things, like even chemotherapy. When I realized that, what is chemotherapy? Chemical therapy. Therapy involving chemicals into the body. So once again, we're putting synthetic things inside the body, hoping it's going to be well. That doesn't make sense. And that's what I came to realize, that, and chemotherapy is basically liquid petroleum. A lot of us, we don't even know that. And that's why a lot of the times, I remember when my grandma, she lived to the age of like 92, very strong woman. I had to go and see her in the hospital in her last days. And I looked at the hospital menu, and it was like beef stew, fried rice, and all of these things. I'm like, is this supposed to be a hospital or McDonald's? You know, what is going on here? And the more and more I realize that a lot of the hospitals are not really about treating people, because they can't. Nobody can heal you. You have to heal yourself. And that's what I came to realize, that nobody was going to do the work for me. I would love for someone just to do it for me, but essentially for us to know ourselves, we have to live with ourselves. We have to really understand that we are like an energy battery. We're almost like this generator. And a lot of the diseases we have are not just because we ate something the other day. It's not just about nutrition. It's also about our thoughts. Because really and truly, what I've come to realize is that a lot of our diseases are psychosomatic. And that means that they're coming from the realm of the mind. They're coming from unseen realms, and then they're materializing into the physical. I don't want to get metaphysical here. Today is not the day for it. But really, I'm seeing it like this. A lot of the times, promoting health for me, wealth as well, because health is wealth, is all about, a lot of us, we don't realize that even if when you hate someone, the hate has to pass through your own body before it reaches someone else. Just like when you love someone, the love has to flow through you before it reaches someone else. And that is the key to everything, to realize that we are everything we're thinking, eating, drinking. It's all going through us. And for me, that's why I realize that there's no time in wasting time to judge other people. Because when you do, in that process, you're sending a signal to your body, you're sending a signal to your mind, and it's also interfering with your own balance. And that's why for me, being neutral is the best way. Being in that state of neutralisis. Being neutral really is the key element of the universe. It's really where everything is flowing, in that neutral state. And for me, that is what perfect health is. That's what perfect balance is. I can't rest on my laurels. I can't say, okay, I'm healthy now, because everything is always changing. Physicians, heal thyself. Infinite waters, diving deep once again. Stay well. Stay in the sun. Peace.